What is up? My name is Spoofs. First off, sorry for not posting that much. That's gonna change. I actually haven't been posting much because my mouse has been malfunctioning. Now, my standard mouse is a Logitech G600. Apparently they don't make these mice anymore, so that's what it looks like close up. It's pretty close to a Razer Naga. Now, a lot of people, they complain after the first year that your mouse starts to double click. That was the case with mine, but it took 3 years. Now, I've used mice like this on and off for the past 15 years. I've had probably 3 or 4 Razer Nagas, 2 or 3 of these mice. This one's by far lasted the longest. But since they no longer make this mouse, as far as I know, I've seen them go up to about $600. At the time, I paid like $50. I am not paying $600 for a new mouse. So, we got ourselves a new mouse here. I already pre-opened it because the person that delivered it to me wanted to see the mouse. This is a Red Dragon mouse, and they got some other name on it. It's pretty close to the G600. So we're just gonna, it comes in a nice little case here. So we're just gonna take that off. Like there's plastic that goes over it, but I already took that out. I'll get the model of it afterwards for you guys. Now, this is what the mouse looks like. It's about as big as the Logitech mouse. Roughly the same size, maybe a tad bigger. Actually, yeah, this is actually a bit bigger, yeah. Now, there's a nice matte finish, and they got glossy plastic on the side, but for under $50, I feel like this is probably a decent mouse. Now, a lot of people complain about the clickiness on, well, not so much the clickiness, but the mushiness of the side buttons. So I just want to quickly test here. Okay, that's Logitech. Okay, it feels the same as a Logitech, so it's because they're not mechanical switches inside. But what do you expect for $50? Now, this comes with its own software, which I'll be checking out later in this video. And right now I'm just recording this section of it quickly. So for all I know, I might record the rest of that tomorrow. Now, from what I see, we got an extra button, possibly 2 extra buttons here, compared to the Logitech right here. That's actually mechanical. I could hear that. Okay, so the back buttons here and the side button is mechanical, so that's nice. Scroll wheel feels pretty good actually. For the people shit talking on the Red Dragon mouse, just by the base feel without plugging it in yet, I would say it's on par with the Logitech. So I'm just gonna plug this in real quick. So one real nice feature that I missed out on was the braided cable. For a mouse this price, I wasn't expecting a braided cable. So I haven't even got the software done yet, but I just plugged it in, and this is how the mouse looks. The RGB on here is absolutely amazing. I actually prefer the RGB on this compared to the Logitech. That's a slick looking mouse. And it's perfect for my size of hand. Now, if you have smaller hands, you probably want to go with a Razer Naga, because Logitech mice are notoriously big, and this Red Dragon mouse is slightly bigger. Razer Nagas, this is not a Razer Naga, but this is closer to the Razer Naga size. This is just my Logitech shooter mouse. Another nice thing with this mouse is it comes with weights. I'm not going to take out the bottom here, but this is where your weights go. So if you want a lighter mouse, you can take those out, but I prefer a heavier mouse. And as I said, I was going to get you the name of this mouse. Now, Red Dragon makes a plethora of mice and keyboards. This one is the Red Dragon M908 Impact RGB LED MMO laser mouse. It's pretty slick. I'm actually liking it so far. Alright, so this is how the software looks. I'm not going to play around with the colors for now, but we got tons of different types that we could do here. I do want to customize it though, so we're going to go to the side here. This is your standard 1 through 12. I don't use these, so we're going to see what we can do here to switch these. Can I just like click this and then customize? Nice. Okay, so this is super easy to customize. Okay. Now, these keybinds aren't going to make any sense to you, but it's for World of Warcraft. You'll see what I mean once I get into the game here. I use the F buttons up above the number buttons, just so I could have different buttons on my mouse. And I exclude F4 because I have Alt as a modifier. So I just changed that to like B. Yeah, this is like super easy to rebind. Okay, we're gonna apply all of those. Okay, it's all applied. I don't know what these buttons do yet. I do want to see. Okay, hold on. Okay, that's different. I want to disable the DPI mode. We're gonna disable some of these buttons so I'm not screwing around with my WoW stuff. Okay, this works out fine. Alright, so real quick before we test the mouse in-game on World of Warcraft, it took me about an hour to figure out that every time that you keybind, your keybinds will come undone, but the way that you do this is you hit the stop button after each keybind. So record your keybind, then stop, record, then stop, record, then stop. When you get done, you can hit apply. So now we're just going to test in-game here. Alright, so you can see my keyboard, you can see my mouse. It's a little bit further in the background than I would like, but this is the best I could do for a camera. We're just going to use these in conjunction here. My attacks are on my keyboard, my defensives are on my mouse. Sweep and strikes. My mouse seems to be working absolutely fine with the keybinds that I put in. Everything's working. The mouse actually feels really good. As you can see across my second bar, all the spells that I'm using are going off just fine. Alright. So, if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to a Razer Naga or a replacement for your Logitech G600, I believe this mouse is definitely the way to go. At least for now. I'm gonna be updating this video in another month, and then probably in another 6 months, and then a year down the line. Because generally, I would say with the Logitech mice, the average one would last about a year. I'm hoping that's not the case with this mouse, and I hope I can get some good usage out of this mouse. Because apparently the buttons are good for 5 million clicks. So, hopefully this mouse does the trick. Anyway, if this video was helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.